starts now.
Proudly covering the Northwest Arkansas community. This is KNWA News at 10.
The National Guard has been called to help monitor the Trafalgar Road fire, also known as the Stump Dump, and now residents are speaking out. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kelly O'Neill. KNWA's Katie Davila spoke with those residents who say as the smoke continues to rise, so do their concerns.
It's certainly a step in the right direction.
The Stump Dump saga continues, and this time it's not just the state taking arms.
I think of war, or I think of just absolute natural disaster. So that's good, because that's what we're dealing with, an absolute natural disaster.
The Arkansas National Guard has been enlisted to conduct additional air quality monitoring around the area. Residents say they are excited for the much-needed change to air testing.
Do you think the readings so far have been accurate?
I'm not a scientist. I know that what I breathe isn't healthy. I know the air is bad, almost unbearable to breathe.
Every one of my kids have one of these.
Usually they take an average over a long period of time instead of just saying, okay, here's been this bad right now. So it's kind of like saying that you go to Western Europe during World War II and say it was mostly peaceful. Well, obviously, that was not the case.
According to the Arkansas Department of Health, the 21st Civil Support Team will monitor the area only during the day. These guys say if the problem never stops, neither should testing.
This situation never sleeps, it never goes away, and it only gets worse and changes, and it's completely evolving at all times.
One of the highest numbers that they've seen, 423.
When you have real-time data, citizens are able to make adjustments to what's going on at the moment. Now, what happened 2 days ago.
Director of the ADEQ says it is dedicated to exploring resources to report the most accurate air quality data to residents, and it is grateful to partner with the National Guard to deliver this important information.
I cannot buy bottled air. I have to have clean air, and no matter how many filters and no matter how much tape I put around my house, we're still not safe and we're still getting sick.
Locals like these folks say this time they hope to see a real change.
I hope we can go on some web page or look online like our purple air monitors are and go, oh, here's where we're at today. And I can look at my purple air monitor and go, oh, it's all meshing.
In Bella Vista, Katie Davila, KNWA Northwest Arkansas News. Thank you so much, Katie. Well, a Northwest Arkansas church is helping to help those impacted by the fire by providing them with a place to stay during the day. The First United Methodist Church of Bella Vista will provide shelter for those who live nearby the fire site and are looking for a relief spot. The church parlor is open Monday through Thursday from 8 until 4:30, and then on Fridays from 8 until 12:30 in the afternoon. A local hotel has also offered to help homeowners who live nearby the fire as well. The Courtyard Marriott in Bentonville is adjusting its rates to aid people who are looking to escape the smoke coming from the fire. The hotel is offering rooms for $59 every Thursday through Sunday until the fire is under control. All homeowners need to do is show proof of residency near the stump dump. Around Arkansas, 2 people are dead and 4 injured after a car accident in Carroll County. The crash happened last night just before 5 p.m. on County Road 219 in Berryville. According to the Arkansas State Police crash report, 2 men died and 4 men were injured. The victims were taken to the Washington Regional Hospital. All 6 were minors. According to the report, their vehicle was driving at a high rate of speed, lost control, and hit several trees before coming to a final stop. Eureka Springs Schools posted this to Facebook. We extend our thoughts and prayers to the families and friends of the students involved in Friday's accident. Now, many counselors and therapists will be on hand at the high school on Monday to assist students in their time of need. In Little Rock, a man is dead and an officer is in the hospital after a police shooting. It happened near Rodney Parham in 12th Street Friday morning just after 11. KNWA's Mitch McCoy is gathering the latest on the investigation.
At the corner where 12th Street meets Canis at Rodney Parham.
This was just a misfortunate situation that ended up here.
Little Rock detectives investigate a traffic stop that led to police shooting and killing a man.
This type of incident can happen anywhere.
JB works at All Pro Barber. Right outside his shop, investigators say an officer stopped a suspected stolen car around 11 a.m. Friday.
The car began to accelerate, began to move. The officer was struck by the car.
Little Rock Police Interim Chief Wayne Bewley says after the car hit the officer, shots were fired.
It doesn't appear that shots were fired by anyone other than our officer at this point.
And this particular barbershop, you know, has a pleasant environment. It gives it a bad look.
While police comb over the drenched crime scene, Jay hopes it doesn't scare off business.
But my customers, you know, They understand. They'll be back.
All right, thank you, Mitch. Little Rock police have released the names of the man who was killed and the officer who was injured during that traffic stop. LRPD says Officer Charles Starks was on patrol when he saw a car listed as stolen. Officer Starks pulled over the car and asked Bradley Blackshire to get out of the driver's seat. Police say that's when Blackshire began to drive forward and Officer Starks fired his gun, hitting Blackshire. We're told officers tried to save him. Starks is now on administrative leave. All new at 10, February is Black History Month, and the celebration continued at the Bentonville Public Library this afternoon. Members of the Northwest Arkansas Area Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta sorority hosted a storytime event to read books about Black history figures and educate the public about embracing Black culture. Atara Lowe with Delta Sigma Theta says every year the event gets bigger and bigger.
We get a chance to meet more kids and educate more people, so that's a big role in our organization. We're big on public service, big on scholarship, and so it just meets parts of our educational thrust.
This is the 5th year that Black History Month Storytime was held at the Bentonville Public Library. In our Health Minute tonight, heavy smoking is not just bad for your lungs and heart, it could also damage your vision. A Rutgers University study compared people who had smoked fewer than 15 cigarettes in their lives to those who smoked more than 20 a day. Researchers found that heavy smokers had more trouble seeing subtle differences in contrast and shades of color. Experts believe that smoking affects the brain's frontal lobe, which is involved in processing vision. Arkansas ranks among the worst states in the country for tobacco use. What our local lawmakers are doing in response, that's coming up after our Capitol View report. But first, Melissa.
Well, a beautiful but windy day has turned into a cold and chilly windy night. Will Sunday keep the sunshine and the wind around? We'll take a look when we return.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Air Control.
Paschal, the ones you can trust.
Paschal Air, Plumbing and Electric.
Super savings!
And your sales tax paid.
Sale includes leather reclining sofas and sectionals. Best of all, leather reclining sofas, only $7.99. Come see us at Hank's Fine Furniture.
Find nearest bakery.
Showing nearby bakeries.
Find party supply store near here.
2019 Corolla, loaded with the latest tech and Toyota Safety Sense standard.
I got it all.
Where's my mom?
She wasn't on the list.
Right now, get $2,000 customer cash. Or qualified buyers get 0.9% APR financing for 60 months on a stylish new 2019 Corolla. Toyota, let's go places.
There's energy in Fort Smith. It's got a great economic development team and our partnership with them where we market together. It's also about the business partners just like OG&E.
We've recruited and secured over $700 million in new capital investment and 6,000 new jobs.
Can you feel that? Can you feel the vibe? Can you feel that wave of positive energy?
When we created a new definition of space, technology, and comfort, people took note. The 2018 Ford Expedition, the J.D. Power highest-ranked large SUV in initial quality.
Now get 0 for 60 plus $1,250 Ford credit bonus cash and $2,000 competitive owner bonus cash on a 2018 Expedition.
Super savings!
And your sales tax paid.
Sale includes designer sofas, only $4.99. Best of all, big family-sized sectionals, $9.99. Come see us at Hank's Fine Furniture.
Now, your Weather Authority forecast with meteorologist Melissa Hall.
Did you wake up to some thunder this morning, or were you like me? The week was pretty long and you slept right through it. Well, I slept right through it, but many people didn't. And we had thunder roll through. We got 1/3 of an inch of rain in the River Valley, less than 1/10 for most people in northwest Arkansas. But that wind is what you've been hearing all day long. We have a wind advisory north of the tunnel, but it was supposed to expire 9 o'clock. No, they went ahead and extended it until 1 a.m. and tomorrow's going to be another breezy day. The big difference, though, the direction of the wind. And this storm, it's packing quite a punch. They had several tornadoes that have already touched down over in Mississippi into Alabama. Tennessee even had a tornado warning. And look at this, that purple. That's blizzard warning. Now, we have been very fortunate just having to deal with the trees, but they cause damage as well. Or deal with the trees, deal with the wind. I saw pictures of some tree damage in Berryville. Well, we had a little rain come in, like I said, not too much, but the cold air is what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. It's already starting to seep in. Look at the difference. You can see where it didn't have a problem making it past the tunnel today. Everyone's going to be waking up with a chill tomorrow. It's already 24 in Dodge City, and we'll wake up in the upper 20s, low 30s. The wind hasn't stopped. These are current winds, and look at how strong it is. There's still even some hints of purple, close to 30-mile-an-hour winds in Fort Smith. The gusts, though, are what have really been doing the damage and what you've been hearing outside. Gusts 30, 40, 45 miles an hour in our area. Well, that dry slot's been working its way in, so we have had an elevated fire danger with this. And tomorrow, we will keep these winds, as you can take a look at the wind gust. But the good news is they're in the 20-mile-an-hour range. The bad news is, check out the direction. It's switched. It's now out in the northwest instead of the southwest, and that's going to make all the difference in the world. We have clear skies overnight, that wind out of the north, that cold air mass. We wake up below freezing. It's just going to be downright cold compared to where we were today. By the afternoon, even though we have plenty of sunshine, we don't warm too much. We'll get into the mid-40s, low 50s, depending on where you are, and that wind's going to take its toll. It's going to take a few degrees off those temperatures. Monday morning, we start off a little bit warmer thanks to that wind coming back out of the south, and good news, we have a warming trend to start the upcoming work week. We'll be back into the 50s and 60s by Monday, Kelly. Now, these great temperatures don't last too long. We keep them for the start of the work week, and then by late Wednesday, we have a system that moves in, a new cold front. This one, we could actually even see a few flurries just in time to welcome what us meteorologists kick off as the first day of spring next Friday. Now, spring doesn't officially start until, shameless plug, my mom's birthday, March the 20th.
Oh, exciting.
So it is a few weeks before where Mother Nature says it's actually spring, but by Friday we'll have those showers to go along with it probably.
So it looks like we're going to have to soak up these next few days, and then Thursday, Friday, maybe stay in.
You know, if you don't like cold and wet combined, I would suggest that. But the next few days, the wind won't be too bad. You got the sunshine. It'll be great to get out and take advantage of all of the fun things we have across the area.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Melissa. To celebrate the hit Broadway musical Waitress coming to Fayetteville, KNWA has teamed up with the Walton Arts Center to give local pie bakers a chance to shine with a Baked from the Heart pie contest. Amateur and professional bakers can enter online through March 1st. 3 finalists will be chosen to showcase their pies on Good Day NWA. The winner gets 4 tickets to see Waitress and the chance to serve their pie at the show. For information on how you can enter the contest, head over to our website, nwahomepage.com. Well, the Diamond Hogs and men's basketball team both in action tonight. An update on both of those games coming up next in our Pig Trail Nation report. Plus, women's track dominating the competition in the SEC championships today. A look at all the action after the break.
Love your lips and your hips this February at Hull Aesthetics with $100 off any lip filler or cool sculpting treatment.
Mattress King. Nobody beats the King, where Arkansas buys Tempur-Pedic.
Mattress King Winter Sales Event. Save up to $600 on select Stearns & Foster mattresses. The world's finest bed.
Nobody beats the King. Mattress King.
Look forward. Hit the gas. Focus on the road before you. The redesigned Honda Civic with standard Honda sensing and a multi-angle rear-view camera. It's fun, always.
Hey, did you know that Chevy has 7 great cars with a starting price under $26,000? Like this Camaro and this Malibu. And let's not forget this Cruze sedan and Cruze hatch. And finally, this Spark, Sonic sedan and Sonic hatch. So no matter what you're looking for, Chevy has a car for you.
That's awesome!
Yeah!
Get $2,250 total cash allowance on most Cruise and Malibu models when financing with GM Financial. Plus, current GM owners get an additional $1,000 cash allowance. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
This President's Day, there's big news at Nissan Now. No brand received more J.D. Power Initial Quality Awards for cars and trucks than Nissan. That means that people love their new Nissans. So we're thanking you with big savings on our lineup, including Rogue with Pro Pilot Assist.
Save up to $3,000 on the 2019 Rogue, or save up to $2,000 on the 2019 Sentra.
Get to Nissan now, before these offers are yesterday's news.
Mattress King. Nobody beats the king, where Arkansas buys Tempur-Pedic.
Mattress King Winter Sales Event. Save up to $600 on select Stearns & Foster mattresses, the world's finest bed.
Nobody beats the king. Mattress King.
Now, from Fayetteville, high on the hill, this is your Pig Trail Nation Report. Sponsored by Crane Automotive Team.
Arkansas basketball really in need of a win tonight, taking on Texas A&M. The Hogs beating the Aggies earlier this season in College Station. We'll see if they can do it at home this evening. Let's take a look. Isaiah Joe looking to keep the three-point streak alive. Good ball fake for a wide-open look, and the Razorbacks down 36-28. But then in the lead with seconds until the half, but the Aggies make a last-second layup, and the Hogs down by 1 at halftime. Gabe Osaboyan gets things going in the second. With the slam, his dunk puts Arkansas within 4. 52-48 Aggies. Now Isaiah Joe, bounce pass for Daniel Gafford for the big man slam. That one gets the bench and the crowd on their feet. Arkansas within 2 points now. Mason Jones pulls up for a jumper. This one is good and makes it a 1-point game. But then the Aggies begin to pull away. TJ Starks, we knew this guy would be a problem for the Hogs. Drives right inside for the layup, 71-64 Texas A&M. But then he just keeps it going, and the Aggies ultimately will come out on top. 87-80, A&M is the final. Arkansas's 5th straight loss, falling to 5-9 in conference play. The Hogs shooting 47% from the field, 5 for 22 from the three-point line, and 15 for 21 from the charity stripe. The finals of the SEC Indoor Track and Field Championship going on today over at the Tyson Indoor Facility. Let's take a look at some of the action. Cameron Griffith for the men, the defending champion in the 3,000, neck and neck in the last lap, pulls it out for the win. Flexen to defend his title. Peyton Chadwick for the women in the 60-meter hurdles. She will win first place with a time of 8.02 seconds. She would also win silver in the 200-meter as well. Taylor Werner separating herself from the pack in the women's 3,000. She will take gold with a time of 9 minutes, 15.57 seconds. And over on the pole vault, of course, it is the twins, Lexi Jacobus and Tori Hoggard. They win first and second place, respectively. Yet another title for the two of them. The Arkansas women dominate the rest of the conference, winning their 5th straight SEC Indoor Championship with an 81-point margin of victory. Here's head coach Lance Harder after the win.
We had kind of made some preliminary, guesses of what could potentially happen. But what was really special is that it went across the board. And I think today, when the mile went, the first event, and they went 1, 2, 3, it just kind of created electricity across the board. Because we knew the vault was going to take care of business. We knew the sprints were going to rise. But it seemed like every event that we were potentially scoring in, we exceeded anyone's expectations.
And Arkansas baseball going for a sweep of USC tonight in California. At last check, it is 2-2, a tied-up ball game in the bottom of the 8th. Connor Nolan giving up a solo homer in the bottom of the 1st and an RBI in the 2nd, striking out just 2 batters in 4 innings. Arkansas's 2 runs coming from Christian Franklin. So, of course, if you can't follow that game right now, you can follow us on Twitter, and we will keep you updated.
Tara, I don't know about you, but I am so excited to get out to a baseball game one of these days. It'll happen once it's nice out.
Exactly. Once it's not cold outside, then hit it out.
Thanks so much, Tara. Well, R&B singer R. Kelly is making national headlines surrounding charges of sexual abuse. A closer look at the investigation. That's coming up on KNWA News at 10.
Like the Pig Trail Nation Facebook page today and join the conversation.
I love shoes. You find them in the store, they call you, but they hurt. The best ones hurt the worst. And you're walking around going, I don't want anyone to know that I'm not happy. You're stuck in the arch supports, and I felt so much better. I'd say Good Feet helped with all of my great shoes. They turned out to be something that actually works for me. My name is Ava, and that's my Good Feet story.
See for yourself with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Today we're here to talk about trucks.
I love trucks.
Oh, what truck brand comes from the family of the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickups on the road?
I think it's the Chevy.
Ford.
It's not Ford.
I think it's Ram.
Not Ram either.
That's
It's Chevy.
Gorgeous.
Current GM owners get a total value of $10,250 on this Silverado when you finance with GM Financial plus 1-year Sirius XM All Access package. See your Northwest Arkansas Chevy dealers.
Brandy Riles talks about Vaser Lipo from Dr. Earl.
It's always been something I thought about because I've always been very uncomfortable with my legs. When I visited Dr. Earl and heard about the Vaser Lipo, I asked a lot of questions, and he really made me feel comfortable about it. It's been around 3 years since I've had the Vaser Lipo procedure. I feel like a new woman. I feel comfortable in shorts. I don't feel like I have to wear something that goes to my knees or below. I'm comfortable in my own skin now.
Call today for a free consultation.
Get revved up for Corvettes and cash this month at Cherokee Casino and Hotel West Siloam Springs. Every Saturday, you could win our hourly drawings for $2,500 cash from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. And on Saturday, February 9th and 23rd at 9 p.m., you could hit the road in a brand new Corvette. Earn entries daily. And don't miss live shows from Tanya Tucker, Travis Tritt, comedian Christina P., and David Lee Murphy. Only at Cherokee Casino and Hotel West Siloam Springs. Your story starts here.
You're watching KNWA News at 10.
On Capitol View tonight, when it comes to smoking and tobacco use, Arkansas ranks among the worst states in the country. With that in mind, state lawmakers have filed several bills recently aimed at taking on big tobacco. Among them, taxes on e-cigarettes and cigarette paper, raising the smoking age to 21, and directing taxpayer money to cancer research at UAMS. The American Cancer Society is pushing for changes and says it's encouraged by the developments we're seeing so far.
One of the primary responsibilities of our state legislature is to make sure that we have good public health here in the state of Arkansas. I am most appreciative of the fact that there's a willingness to look at some of these issues that can be addressed, some steps that can be taken that help us make our state healthier.
You'll hear more of this discussion, including the ACA's thoughts on some of the tobacco-related bills that Arkansas lawmakers have filed on Capitol View this Sunday. Making national headlines, R&B singer R. Kelly appeared in court Saturday after being indicted on 10 counts of criminal sexual abuse. This latest case involves 4 alleged victims, including teens. Steve Nans has a closer look at the investigation in reaction from Kelly's alleged victims.
$1 million. That's how much a Chicago judge on Saturday set for R&B singer R. Kelly just hours after he turned himself into authorities. The Grammy Award-winning singer charged with sexually assaulting 4 people, including 3 teens between 1998 and 2010. Prosecutors alleging Kelly's inner circle helped him find his victims.
Robert Kelly's manager then gave the victim Robert Kelly's business card with Robert Kelly's personal cell phone number written on it and told the victim Robert Kelly wanted her to call him.
This latest investigation was sparked by new evidence involving a videotape that appears to show Kelly having sex with a girl who refers to her body parts as being 14 years old. For decades, R. Kelly has repeatedly denied allegations that he abused women and underage girls. This latest incident comes nearly 2 months after the Surviving R. Kelly documentary was released. In it, women accused him of sexual misconduct and abuse.
He calls himself the Pied Piper. The Pied Piper lures children away from their families. He's known for doing that.
R. Kelly's attorney says his client is innocent. He also claims R. Kelly is struggling to come up with the bond money.
He really doesn't have any money at this point. I don't even think he owns the rights to I Believe I Could Fly.
I'm Steve Nannis reporting.
R. Kelly's arraignment is scheduled for March 8th. If found guilty, he faces up to 70 years in prison. Well, stay with us. Meteorologist Melissa Hall is back after the break with the final check of your weekend weather. Stick around.
Hank's Spine Furniture and Mattresses is proud to sponsor KNWA Northwest Arkansas News.
How do we make the future of energy ours? By knowing who we are, where we're going, by remembering the roads we've traveled, while developing new paths of our own. At SWEPCO, we're working to generate new ideas and empower possibilities for us all. Shaped by who we are, where we live, and what we value, the future is ours to hold.
Do you want another truck, or a truck like no other? One that makes people say, they put what in that truck? One that has capabilities you can't find in other trucks and ushers in a whole new age. The all-new Ram 1500, Motor Trend's 2019 Truck of the Year. For deals like no other. Come in now during Ram Truck Month.
Or right now, get an average $16,250 in total values on select 2019 Ram 1500 Classic models in dealer stock.
Attention men of Northwest Arkansas. Cross Church invites you to the NWA Men's Conference. One night only, Sunday, February 24th at 5:30 p.m. at the Cross Church Fayetteville campus. This year's conference features dynamic speakers, Jared Stevens, Kai Bowman, and music from Cross Church Worship. This will be a night of challenging lessons that every man needs to hear. You don't want to miss it. Visit crosschurch.com/NWA Men for complete information.
This is your time to buy the Honda Pilot LX. It has room for more, including seating for 8. It comes standard with Honda Sensing and a stylish exterior that's perfect for a day with your kids or a night on the town. So come discover why the Honda Pilot is a KBB.com Best Buy for 2019. Get a great deal. Test drive a Honda today at your Northwest Arkansas and River Valley Honda dealers.
Well, we didn't see any winter weather today, but the animals at the National Zoo did. The giant pandas having tons of fun rolling and playing in the snow at the National Zoo this week. Mei Xiang and Bei Bei showing children how a snow day should be done. And penguins at the Pittsburgh Zoo enjoying their favorite kind of day, having a blast in a blast of winter weather, pushing, slipping, sliding in the snow. The snow may be a problem for some, but not for otters. That fun, courtesy of Boston's New England Zoo, also sharing this video of an otter enjoying the winter weather. Now, it looks like it reminds me of my dogs at home because they also love playing in the snow. They're terriers, so they get the snow all up in their everywhere. It's so cute.
And see, my dogs are the opposite. I have a little 4-pound poodle, and whenever it snows, she's just very dainty and walks out in it like, oh my goodness, you're not going to let me just go to the bathroom in the house? Why are you doing this to me? So,
well, we carve out, like, we carve out a little bit of the snow, like in the...
Well, we don't really get enough snow to have to carve.
Oh, yeah, not here. Back home.
But hey, we could see a few flurries. Check out the 7-day forecast. We actually, tomorrow will be cool, but we have a warming trend, and then by Thursday, things cool back down.
All right. Thanks for joining us tonight. Have a great rest of your night.
Okay, it's Ford Truck Month, and here's how it works. You take Ford F-150.